I'm going to show you how to track calories and macronutrients. Why you are tracking calories could be one of infinity answers, but this video is going to show you how to do it. If you want to know how to do it, it's important to know what you're tracking if you're going to track them. The first thing we're going to track is energy. The unit of measurement that we use to measure energy is calories. There's a bunch of different ways to measure energies: kilojoules, British thermal unit, kilowatt hour, electron volt, foot pound, thermi, erg, Carter. I don't even know some of these, but the point is there's many different ways to do it. Just like there is different ways to measure distance. If I wanted to measure the distance from my chin to the top of my big head, I could use centimeters, millimeters, kilometers, feet would maybe be a more appropriate one. But it doesn't change the distance. We can just change how we measure it. Energy is what fuels us. Cars use fuel as energy. Wood fuels fire as energy. Wood is a plant. Plants use the sun as energy. Superman uses the sun as energy as well. And my future son will use food as his fuel. It's all just energy. Humans survive on energy, and we use it for all of our physiological functions. We use it for exercise, fidgeting, digesting food, speaking, even thinking, even just sitting there. You're using energy. We don't just use energy for these things, we require it. And we require energy for all the things I just mentioned, plus much more. There's a lot going on in the human body. All of those things I've mentioned, they actually all require energy, and they all add up to a particular number. This is what some of you may have heard as maintenance calories, or total daily energy expenditure. The amount of energy that we use total for the day. Now that we know what we are measuring, it's important to know that all foods have a certain amount of energy, or calories. I'm going to use calories from now on. Knowing that all food has a certain amount of calories is something that someone would have to know to go down the line of thinking that there's no good or bad foods. They all just have a certain amount of calories. How much? You're about to find out. Macronutrients, also known as macros, they are just the large subcategories of calories. Essentially, we are now breaking the calories down into subcategories to find out what jobs they have. But just to reiterate, if they happen to have different macronutrient breakups, they still all have calories. In simple terms, protein's job is to allow us to retain and grow lean muscle mass. Carbohydrates' job is to give our muscles fuel in order to use it. And fats are important in hormonal production and vital bodily functions. How do we find out how much of each food has? You're about to find out. At the time of making this video, MyFitnessPal, in my opinion, is definitely the most robust and versatile and practical app to be using for this. I've used many others, and I do think a lot of them have better functions in certain areas, but MyFitnessPal still tops. Because of the way I use it and the way I'm going to teach you to use it, it becomes very practical and will save you a lot of time. All right, I'm now going to show you how to track all types of foods. This is how to track things with a barcode. We got some tip-top bread here. What we're going to do is go on add food, scan a barcode, scan it over the bread, and then you'll see that it already has there serving size 2 pieces. So if you're only having one slice of bread, turn that into 1 piece, and then you're having 1 of them. Enter that in, bang, so you've got your tip-top toast in there. The other way to do it is to search up tip-top 1, let's type in sliced. And then it's, when you type it in correctly, it'll pop up there. So you notice it now says 78 grams, and you can confirm that by looking at the packet, and then it actually tells you, I'm not gonna see it on the camera, but it says 2 slices of bread is 78 grams, which is 1 serving. So you'll often have to confirm things like that when you scan something or search something up. Is the serving size that's popping up on here actually coinciding with that? Cool, so that's that done. So another thing with the barcode, we need to find out how much of this peanut butter we're having. So I'm gonna scan it. Let's say I've got my slice of toast, my frozen slice of toast. We're gonna take our kitchen scales here, and it's gonna start at 0. So, and let's say I wanna put some peanut butter in here. I'm gonna have to do what's called tearing, bring that back to 0. And then I might slide, and I might put on however much peanut butter I want. This much. Put it on, and then bang, so sweet. Now I can put in 13 grams of peanut butter. Or I can, let's say that's a new piece of toast. I can put the peanut butter on here, and let's say I know that I want to get 20 grams out of peanut butter. So I can do this. Well, let's go 15 grams because that's on my meal plan or whatever. I'm just gonna keep doing this until it comes out. 14, whatever, 15. And if you really need to get the extra gram, keep going until you get 15. Bang. So I know that I've taken 15 grams from there. So there's multiple different ways you can do that. You want that? Mm-mm. Oh, yuck. All right, cool. Easy. What if it's a raw food and we can't scan it? This next skill is very important. So if I search up carrots into MyFitnessPal, lots of different options are going to come up. Now, a lot of them may be correct, a lot of them may be incorrect, but they are different. So why is it incorrect? Because the information on here is crowdsourced, so there's lots of different entries. So we want to make our own entry so that it's accurate and we can use it forever. So you do it like this. We're gonna go add food, my foods, create a food, and then we're gonna draw the information from a site called Nutab, which is why we're gonna call it the brand name. The description, carrot, raw, and then we always make this 100 grams, and then 1. And now we're gonna pull this information from, you can just type in Nutab, click this here, click searchable database. Then you want to search up what you want the information for, carrot, and then search for carrot mature, peeled, fresh, raw. That's just normal carrot. Then you want to grab information from the 100 grams column. Now, there's lots of different bits of information there on the micronutrients, all these sorts of things. We're only concerned about energy, protein, carbohydrates, fats, and fiber. So we just need to find that. You notice here, always choose energy including dietary fiber. And to turn that into calories, all you need to do is divide by 4.2. So 146 divided by 4.2 is 34 calories per 100 grams. So let's go back into MyFitnessPal. 34 calories. Now we're going to find fats. We'll just go back into here. Fat is 0 grams, 0. Total carbs, we come down to available carbohydrates with sugar alcohols, so type in 6.6. Dietary fiber, 3.4. And protein, which is 0.6. 0.6. Tick, done. So you've just now created carrot raw, and this is correct information. So if I have 100 grams of carrot, it's got all the information there. And now that will stay in, if I go back to add foods, my foods, that will stay in your created foods forever, and you can just keep using that. So you'll notice here that I've made foods for all these things before. My very first one was a raw gala apple. And then all these things, I don't have to enter in ever again. I use these all the time. Next one. So if you go out to your favorite fast food joint. So I'm gonna put in my favorite, a Cali burrito from Guzman. The way you find the information is, luckily a lot of the fast food joints have nutritional PDFs. So all you need to do is Google Guzman or whatever you're searching, nutritional PDF. Luckily, I've linked all of the ones I could find in this video. So you go to it and find your option here. I can see Cali burrito, I do grilled chicken. Then you go again, create a food. This time you write the brand in, Guzman, description, Cali chicken burrito. And this time you can either put in the serving size, so you can type in 470 grams and then 1, or you can literally just type in 1 burrito. Then we do the same as before. It's got the calories there, 971. Total fat, 52.8. Total carbs, 74.7. Fiber, 6.6. And protein, 46.4. Bang, in. And now it's sitting there forever. Every time you go back to have your favorite meal, you've got it there. Or if for whatever reason, let's say it was a pizza this time from Domino's, I'll use the burrito as an example. If you didn't have a whole one, you could just go into like 1 burrito and then put 0.5, meaning you had half the pizza. Bang, and it's giving you exactly the macros for that. The last skill that I would say you need to learn is to investigate. There's a lot of things that can pop up as errors, and there's ways that you can investigate whether it's correct or not. For example, a protein scoop. It might have the serving size on the container, but what you need to do is actually get that little serving scoop, do a full scoop like you usually would, and then actually weigh it. Confirm that it's the same as what the container says. Or if like you purchase a chocolate bar, make sure that it's the same grams in the serve. There are things that are incorrect, so one quick look, a little bit of investigation will allow you to track it accurately. And if all else fails, you'll have that nutritional label in front of you, just like we've done with every other food. Create it and look at the per 100 gram column. This is the final skill that you have to know, and that is when you go out for dinner, you go to a friend's house and they've cooked, and you can't actually weigh and track those things yourself. So how do we track that? What we do is we very accurately guesstimate. And what I've done here is I've purchased a meal from Hunky Dory, just a general meal with things that are easier and not easy to track. Hot chips, typically not that easy because we just don't know how much oil is in it. However, Nutab has hot chips on the website, so we're gonna use that. I've got flake, so I know what it is. I can look that up on Nutab as well. Aioli, and then a salad. So this is how I would track it, and then after I track this, we're gonna see, I'm actually gonna weigh it, and we're gonna see how accurate I was to prove to you that you can eyeball when you're out for dinner. I'm gonna have a guess at, I reckon 175 for the flake grams. I can pick it up, you can pick it up in the restaurant, maybe it's a little bit lighter. I'm gonna go 165. I usually say 100 grams for a serve of chips, pretty much anywhere, whether you get it with a Parma, blah, blah, blah. That looks maybe like 110 to me, 110 grams. With aioli, I'll measure the whole thing. That looks like 30 grams to me, 35 grams, we'll go with 30. And then with this salad, I don't need to track all those other things in there, the tomato, the olive, the lettuce, the cucumber, because there's just no calories in that. All I need to track is this feta, and with the feta, I'm gonna guess 20 grams. Now comes the moment for truth of how accurate I think, how good I think I am at this. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and track all the things that I just said. So hot chips is something that I've gotten from Nutab. I'm gonna put that in. Flake, I'm pretty sure I have. Yep, flake. I've got it there as well, 165. Aioli is something that I do not have. So this is where we would just search, or if you didn't have the flake, you could literally just sit there at the restaurant, flake. I would pick one. This is what we don't like doing usually, but when you have to guess, just pick one. Let's go Heinz, and what did I say? 30 mil, 20 grams of feta. Do I have a feta there? I do. Let's go the Danish, 20 grams. Bang. So I've estimated that meal to be 646 calories. Let's have a look. 100 to 38, 30, 27. So I have guessed there. I was actually really wrong with the chips. The rest I was pretty accurate. The difference here, 872 minus 646, is 220 calories. That could be the thing that stops you from getting towards your goal, like either in a deficit or in a surplus, but maybe for that day, and especially if you go out for dinner, you might have budgeted some calories for that day. So you might have budgeted for some leeway when you're tracking. Maybe that day, and it's not gonna be that much of a blowout. It's not a blowout whatsoever. It's only a slight discrepancy. And in the terms of your whole week, when you've tracked the whole week really well, it essentially means nothing. That's going out for dinner when you don't have a scales, whether you're literally just eyeballing things. When you go over to a friend's house, you can easily just pick up some of the packets of the things that they're using, quickly scan it, have a guess at the things. And then the last thing would be, how hard are you making it for yourself when you go out for dinner? Like if you're tracking, you probably have goals. Therefore, don't make it super difficult for yourself when you go out for dinner.